Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Happy Tuesday. We got 15 matchups on this MLB slate today, so be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my links in the description below. If you guys like betting on MLB player props, you already know, go and sign up with Parlay Play. Get free entries just for signing up, so go ahead and hop in there. Get some free wins, hopefully. And we'll hop in it. Another busy slate today. 15 matchups, starting with the Boston Red Sox versus the Detroit Tigers. Boston opening up as road favorites at -125. Detroit plus 105 with the over-under at 9.5. Pitching for the Red Sox is Rich Hill. Finished last season 7-8 with an ERA of 3.86. He had 150 strikeouts. Pitching for Detroit is Tyler Alexander. Finished last season 2-4 with an ERA of 3.81. He had 87 strikeouts. Boston, losing to Detroit yesterday 1-3. Kind of a rather disappointing loss. Detroit, looked pretty decent yesterday. Boston, they are 8-4 against Detroit. The unders hit in 4 out of their last 5 games. There just hasn't been a lot of runs being scored in these Boston games so far to start the season. Detroit not doing much either to light up the scoreboard as well. I like the Red Sox on a bounce back here. I do like Rich Hill on the mound. And I do like the Red Sox to get more than one run today. And I think they'll step things up here. I'm taking the Red Sox on the road. Next matchup, we have the Cleveland Guardians versus the Cincinnati Reds. Cleveland opening up as road favorites at -120. The Reds plus 100 with the over-under at 8.5. Pitching for the Guardians is Shane Bieber. So far, he has pitched this season. He pitched on the 7th. Pitched 4 innings, gave up 1 run, had 4 strikeouts. Tyler Mahle, he has pitched this season in that Atlanta win. He pitched 5 innings, gave up 0 runs, and had 7 strikeouts. Cleveland on a 2-game winning streak, coming off back-to-back double-digit scores, winning 10-7 and then 17-3. Cincinnati coming off an Atlanta win. They actually looked, pretty decent in that Atlanta series. They're splitting up hair. Cleveland 12-4 on the road against Cincinnati. It's kind of a tough matchup here. I'm going to lean with the Reds plus 1.5 at home. I know Cleveland looked good the last 2 games, but I just think the Royals just don't look that good, to be honest. I mean, they didn't really do anything amazing in that series. Even in their wins, both of their wins, they only scored 1 in both of those wins against Cleveland. So, and Cincinnati's played well to start the season. I'm going to take the Reds plus 1.5 at home. Next matchup, we have the Seattle Mariners versus the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox opening up as home favorites at -130. Seattle plus 110 with the over-under at 9.5. Pitching for the Mariners is Matt Brash. I don't see any stats on him, so it looks like he's getting his call up and getting his first start here. Pitching for the White Sox is Vince Velasquez. Last season, he was 3-9 with an ERA of 6.30. He had 101 strikeouts. Seattle on a 2-game losing streak, coming off 2 losses to Minnesota. White Sox on a 2-game winning streak, coming off 2 nice wins over Detroit. We just don't know about Brash pitching, and we're gonna see what he does, and it's a big question mark there. The White Sox 5-2 at home. I'm just gonna lean with the White Sox here. I don't know about Matt Brash. Vince Velasquez, wasn't the best last season, but still a veteran. And I'm gonna lean with the White Sox at home. Next matchup, we had the Chicago Cubs versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Cubs opening up as road favorites at -120. The Pirates +100 with the over/under at 9. Pitching for the Cubs is Drew Smyly. Last season, he was 11-4 with an ERA of 4.48. He had 117 strikeouts. Pitching for the Pirates is Zach Thompson. Last season had an ERA of 3.24 with 66 strikeouts. The Cubs coming off that Milwaukee loss, but nonetheless, they've looked really good so far to start the season. Pitt coming off a 9-4 win over St. Louis. They've kind of had a little bit of a rough start here, but the Cubs, playing pretty decent. Had a good series in that Milwaukee series. 4-1 on the road, 9-1 against Pittsburgh, where they've kind of owned them here. And there's not too much value here, so I'm gonna roll with the Cubs on the road. Next matchup, we have the Oakland Athletics versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay opening up as home favorites at -205. Oakland +185 with the over/under at 8.5. Pitching for Oakland is Adam Oller. Looks like he's getting his first start here. He doesn't have any stats here getting called up from the AAA, so we'll see what he does. And then Tommy Romero, another rookie getting his first start. So really no stats to go off on either pitcher here. I mean, Tampa Bay got murdered yesterday and early. I mean, that was just one of those games. It was over in the second inning, up 8-0. It's really hard to come back from an 8-0. So that game was just pretty much over from the start, which was very unlucky for anyone that bet Tampa Bay, which I'm sure was a lot of people. Oakland on a 2-game winning streak right now. Tampa Bay, 3-1 in their last 4 coming off that Oakland loss. Tampa 8-2 at home. I just think it's got to be a good bounce back for Tampa. I mean, after getting slaughtered yesterday, I think they're going to make the right adjustments. Both teams starting, pretty like rookie/new pitchers that aren't proven in the league yet. So that's going to, definitely work in the favor of both teams, honestly, but definitely the home team. I'm taking a shot at Tampa Bay off a bounce back again. Next matchup, we have the New York Mets versus the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies opening up as home favorites at -160. The Mets +135 with the over/under at 8.5. Pitching for the Mets is Tyler Megill. He has pitched some this season. He pitched 5 innings in his last matchup. Gave up no runs and had 6 strikeouts. Pitching for the Phillies is Zach Wheeler. Last season was 14-10 with an ERA of 2.78. He had 247 strikeouts. Phillies winning that matchup yesterday 5-4 against the Mets. Another close one. Mets 1-7 against Philly, 4-11 on the road. Philly 8-2 at home right now. Yeah, I like Zach Wheeler on the mound. I mean, he was awesome last season. Tyler Megill did look good in his last start as well. Could be another close game here. I'm going to lean with the Phillies. I don't hate Mets on the run line. They did cover in the last game, so you could really go either way. But I do like Zach Wheeler. I'm taking the Phillies at home. Next matchup, we have the Milwaukee Brewers versus the Baltimore Orioles. Brewers opening up as road favorites at -175. Baltimore +140 with the over/under at 9. Pitching for the Brewers is Eric Lauer. Last season, he was 7-5 with an ERA of 3.19. He had 117 strikeouts. Currently can't find anywhere who's pitching for the Orioles, so I guess just be sure to check that whenever that does get released in the daytime. I mean, Milwaukee coming off a 2-0 loss against Baltimore. Horrible performance yesterday. They are 5-1 against Baltimore. Baltimore hasn't, coming off that Tampa Bay series where they looked pretty bad. It was a nice win yesterday. Don't know who's pitching for them. I do like Eric Lauer on the mound. I'm taking another shot at the Brewers here. I'm only going to give the Brewers so many chances before they end up in the doghouse, because they definitely need to be winning these games, and they're not even able to score against Baltimore. That's just unacceptable. We'll give them one more shot here. Brewers can't win off the bounce back with Eric Lauer on the mound, then they're in serious trouble. I'm going to take the Brewers on the road. Next matchup, we have the Toronto Blue Jays versus the New York Yankees. The Yankees opening up as home favorites at -125. Toronto +105 with the over-under at 9.5. Pitching for the Blue Jays is Yusei Kikuchi. Last season, he was 7-9 with an ERA of 4.41. He had 163 strikeouts. Pitching for the Yankees is Nestor Cortez. Last season, he was 2-3 with an ERA of 2.90. He had 103 strikeouts. Toronto winning yesterday's matchup 3-0, shutting the Yankees out. Yankees on a 2-game losing streak here. Toronto 5-0 on the road against the Yankees. Yankees 0-5 at home against Toronto. Yeah, getting Toronto on the road again, or as the underdog again, coming off a great 3-0 game. I don't expect them to shut the Yankees out again, but nonetheless, taking Toronto +1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we have the Miami Marlins versus the Los Angeles Angels. Angels opening up as home favorites at -165. Miami +140 with the over-under at 9.5. Pitching for the Marlins is Jesus Luzardo with an ERA of 6.61. He was 6-9 last season with 98 strikeouts. Pitching for the Angels is Patrick Sandoval with an ERA of 3.62. He was 3-6 with 94 strikeouts last season. Angels coming off that 6-2 win over Miami yesterday. Looked pretty good yesterday. Miami just 2-9 on the road. The unders hit in 4 out of the last 5 games for the Angels. I didn't see enough yesterday for Miami to convince me to take them here. I'm taking the Angels again at home. Next matchup, we have the Washington Nationals versus the Atlanta Braves. Braves opening up as home favorites at -155. Washington +136 with the over-under at 9.5. Pitching for the Nationals is Patrick Corbin. He's already pitched earlier this season, or the last few games. He's lost his last matchup, pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 4 strikeouts. And I can't find who's pitching for the Braves, so be sure to check that out whenever that info does get released. Washington on a 2-game winning streak. Had that 0-3 start against the Mets. They might be picking things up here. Atlanta on a 2-game losing streak. Washington, just beat Atlanta 11-2 yesterday. They were hitting the ball very good yesterday. Atlanta 14-5 at home. We just don't know who's pitching for the Braves. So I'm gonna take the Nationals again, +1.5 on the road. Taking them off momentum here, coming off an 11-point game. Braves on a 2-game losing streak. I think Nationals maybe on a 2-game winning streak. They got momentum heading into this. I'm taking the Nationals +1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we have the Los Angeles Dodgers versus the Minnesota Twins. Dodgers opening up as road favorites at -140. Minnesota +120 with the over-under at 9.5. Pitching for the Dodgers is Andrew Heaney. He was 8-9 last season with an ERA of 5.83. He had 150 strikeouts. Pitching for the Twins is Chris Archer. He was 1-1 last season with an ERA of 4.66. He had 21 strikeouts. Dodgers coming off the back-to-back losses against Colorado. Minnesota on a 2-game winning streak, coming off 2 wins over Seattle. Dodgers on a 6-game winning streak against Minnesota. I like Dodgers here on a 2-game losing streak. Minnesota didn't really look that good in that Seattle series. The last 2 games, they definitely stepped it up, but I like Dodgers. Coming off 2 losses against Colorado, I like LA to get back on track. Rolling with the Dodgers on the road. Next matchup, we have the Kansas City Royals versus the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals opening up as home favorites at -185. Kansas City +155 with the over-under at 8.5. Pitching for the Royals is Daniel Lynch. Finished last season 4-6 with an ERA of 5.69. He had 55 strikeouts. Pitching for the Cardinals is Dakota Hudson. Was 1-0 last season with an ERA of 2.08, and he had 6 strikeouts. St. Louis, their game got postponed yesterday, so they did not play. Got a little bit of rest. Kansas City on a 2-game losing streak. St. Louis did lose their last game to Pitt, but nonetheless, they did look good in that Pitt series despite that last game. Kansas City just 1-5 against St. Louis. St. Louis 10-4 at home, where they've been playing good. I like the Cardinals here, getting an extra day of rest here after that game was postponed. I'm taking the Cardinals at home. Next matchup, we have the Colorado Rockies versus the Texas Rangers. Rangers opening up as home favorites at -150. The Rockies +135 with the over-under at 10.5. Pitching for the Rockies is Chad Kuhl with an ERA of 4.82. He was 5-7 last season, had 75 strikeouts. Pitching for the Rangers is Martin Perez. He was 7-8 last season with an ERA of 4.74. He had 97 strikeouts. Rockies on a 3-game winning streak, coming off a 6-4 win against Texas yesterday. Looked pretty good in that game. Colorado 10-4 on the road. Texas 5-10 at home. And there's good value with the Rockies here on a 3-game winning streak. They got momentum. Not sure you can really trust any team -150. That'd be kind of too risky. I'm gonna take a shot with the Rockies +1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we have the Houston Astros versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Houston opening up as road favorites at -145. Arizona +122 with the over-under at 9.5. Pitching for the Astros is Luis Garcia with an ERA of 3.30. He was 11-8 last season, had 167 strikeouts. Pitching for Arizona is Madison Bumgarner. He's already pitched a game so far this season. Won that matchup, pitched 3 innings, gave up 1 run, and had 2 strikeouts. Houston 3-1 right now, coming off that nice LA series. Arizona on a 3-game losing streak, definitely struggled in that Padres series. Houston 4-1 on the road here. Arizona 5-14 at home. Yeah, I just don't trust the Diamondbacks here. I'm rolling with the Astros on the road. And then the last matchup, we have the San Diego Padres versus the San Francisco Giants. Giants opening up as home favorites at -115. The Padres -105 with the over-under at 7.5. Pitching for the Padres is Yu Darvish. He's already pitched this season. Let's see, Darvish lost that matchup. Pitched 6 innings, gave up 0 runs, and had 3 strikeouts. Pitching for the Giants is Alex Cobb. Finished last season 8-3 with an ERA at 3.76. He had 98 strikeouts. Padres coming off a 4-2 win over the Giants on a 4-game winning streak. Yeah, I mean, this is a series you could probably go either way here. I'm probably going to like the underdog in both series here. I do see Giants are the favorite, but I do see that you can get them plus 1.5. They're looking like the underdog. And if they are the underdog here, I'm going to take the Giants plus 1.5. 4-2 yesterday, it was super close. So I don't hate the Giants plus 1.5 at home.